Yeah. So Christian, how did you get started in real estate, and tell us your origin story, how you got started in all this.
Sure. Straight out of high school, I obviously was looking for a job, and I ended up landing a job in Culver City. I went through a job agency, and they connected me. Here, you found a job. I went over there with a shirt and tie, and when I get to the place, it ends up being a warehouse, and they took me over to the distribution shipping department, and there was a bunch of grown men that were like double my age, and here's a young kid all with a shirt and tie, and they had me go to the end of the line and start stacking boxes, and I did that for a period of 7 years. After maybe like the 5th year, I got introduced to an opportunity of multi-level networking, and it was a company called WMA at the time, and this whole entrepreneurship, this whole thing I got introduced to, as far as you can have a beautiful house, live financially independent, and have a beautiful car. This was just a dream selling thing that they sold me on, and it kind of nibbled my interest a little bit because I didn't think it was real. I never got exposed to anything like that, and I decided to join 3 months after, and started learning, started going to business presentations meetings, and this was after working a full-time job. And I kept going for maybe a good 4 years, and finally I decided to get licensed, and got my securities licenses, my life insurance licenses, started recruiting a bunch of people. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't have the market, I didn't have the sales experience, I didn't have any of that back then. My communication, even my Spanish was broken. I didn't have that fluency that you need. And but I kept at it, and I didn't do too well. I was kind of doing it part-time and trying to still figure it out. I got a job trying to at the gas company, trying to read meters, and that didn't really work out well for me, because they run everything like an army operation. Like, you got to be there at 4:30 a.m. and you got to take a break here, you got to be back here, and in the midst of doing that, and then I started doing car sales. It's just a mixture of just development that I would consider development, because I didn't know car sales.
Yeah.
I just knew how to get leads, and I would do 10 sales on a weekend, sell 2 or 3 cars, and I would try to convert those leads into life insurance, and then trying to read gas meters during the week. It taught me that if one job doesn't work, what makes you think that the second,
So you had
third
an
job?
actual 9 to 5 gas meter reading job.
Yeah. So, when I was doing the warehouse job, I grew there, but I noticed that as I was growing and being the manager's right-hand man and having an office with him, a lot of the people that were there were double my age. They didn't like taking orders from me. And I was always just all about getting things done. Like, whenever the sales department would call over, I would go over there and try to find, certain products that we needed to repair, put it in a QC, and get it shipped out. And I just hustled, because it was all about making money,
Yeah.
But once I started studying for my securities licenses and doing all this field training, I started using some of the employees there, and they invested in variable universal life insurance products and stuff like that. So the big head honchos found out I was doing it, like the board of directors, and they pulled me over. I mean, they brought me into a conference room, and they said, "You got to stay away from those scammers," They're like,